Okay. Good evening and welcome everyone to the Township Committee meeting of October 10th, 2017. Ms. Barak, please call the roll.
Committeeman Burchett.
Here.
Committeeman Delcor.
Here.
Committeeman Thompson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor McCauley.
Here.
Mayor Srirachi.
Here.
Mayor Sherry Ferreira.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Publics Meeting Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on October 10th, 2017. Before we go to approval of minutes, I just want to take a moment since our last meeting to take a moment of silence for the victims of the horrific event massacre in Las Vegas about a week and a half ago. Thank you. Okay. First up is approval of meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve the September 26, 2017 regular session minutes?
So move, Mayor.
Second. Any comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Burchett.
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson.
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor McCauley.
Yes.
Mayor Srirachi.
Yes. Next is reports from community liaisons. First up, Committeeman Burchett.
From the Hillsborough Economic Business Development Commission, they will be hosting an evening networking event at the newly renovated Falcon's Nest in Hillsborough on Thursday, October 26th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The price of admission is $10 and includes a buffet dinner. Cash bar will be available. Tickets can be purchased for $10 at the hillsboroughbusiness.org website. Our last HBA event sold out, so don't miss out. From the Building Department, in an effort to further enhance our customer service, roofing and siding permits now can be issued within 24 hours of receipt. From the Engineering Department, New Amwell Road between Taurus and Route 206 is in the process of being repaved. Residents who have a planned utility change are urged to arrange as soon as possible. Utility hookups usually require excavation into the roadway, so we like to get it finished before we do the repaving. From the DPW. DPW recently received approval for our 5-year community forestry management plan by the Department of Environmental Protection. This valuable plan will take us into 2021 and serve as a guideline for achieving a healthy and safe community forest. One of the major points of the Shade Tree and Community Forest Act is to enable towns to reduce or eliminate their exposure to litigation due to the drastic decline and poor condition of the community tree resource. DPW is currently on the last round of roadside mowing throughout the township, making sure the impact of vegetation is cleared out of the roadway for traveling public. The tree crew has been very active in taking many trees considered hazardous trees on the township-owned land. The ash tree is in the state of decline because of the emergence of the emerald ash borer, which works significantly to destroy trees throughout the area. Another reminder, residents are urged to inspect and fix and replace their mailboxes prior to the upcoming winter. Rotted posts, mailboxes, and general state of disrepair will not be considered for replacement or reimbursement by the town in the event they are knocked over during a storm by snow coming off the snowplows. And lastly, a reminder, information regarding the 2017 leaf collection drop-off program is available on the DPW website or web link on our township website. Please check for dates and times for dropping off leaves at the Otten Road site. That is all.
Great. Thank you, Committeeman. Committeeman Delcor.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple items. I just wanted to acknowledge we had a chance to attend the Hrc Fun Run that was held a week ago Sunday for the benefit of a number of local charities, including Gigi's Playhouse, and Committeeman Thompson and I had the opportunity to participate in that race. Tremendous turnout, and really raised a lot of money for a number of good causes. So I just wanted to thank them for their event. From Public Safety, the Hillsborough Township Police Department is seeking volunteers to join their domestic violence response team, DVRT, through its partnership with Safe and Sound Somerset, a private nonprofit organization in Somerset County that provides support and advocacy to victims of domestic violence. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and this is an appropriate time to encourage participation. Motorists in New Jersey and throughout Motorists in New Jersey throughout the nation are asked to join a day-long effort on October the 10th, 2017, designed to increase awareness about safe driving behaviors and to keep the state's roadways fatality-free for one day. The safety of our motorists is paramount concern, and by participating in this initiative, the goal is we can all make a difference on our roadways. The event is known as Put the Brakes on Fatalities Day. The national initiative was designed to unite the country in moving towards zero fatalities for one full day by encouraging motorists to obey all traffic laws, including buckling up, and that's on every ride, driving the posted speed limit. I know that is difficult for many of us, avoiding distractions while driving, and always being safe and sober behind the wheel. Our goal is to experience a day when all roadway users are extra vigilant, and hope we can avoid fatalities for at least one day on our roadways. Just a reminder from the clerk's office that October 17th is the last day to register to vote in the general election. October 31st is the last day to request a mail-by-vote mail application. And once again, and those vote by mail, once you get your ballot back, the mail applications must be received by the end of the day on November 7th. Not postmarked, must actually be received. And of course, Tuesday, November 7th is General Election Day. We have our voting and polling locations here in town. If you're not sure where to go, just please bring your sample ballot to the polls on Election Day so you're sure to know where to go that day. That's all for me, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things from me. First, last week, or about 3 weeks ago now, I apologize, I missed the last committee meeting. I was able to attend the Duke's 50th anniversary event that they had. It was a great event on Saturday night, which got together probably about 50 years worth of coaches and players. Great event catching up with people that I played football with years ago, and also talking to the coaches and everyone else who's made the Hillsborough Dukes a great community organization for all those years. I did play football, yeah. I know, I'm shocked too. Also, we had 3 new businesses open up in town recently. Cafe Brio, I attended that grand opening with Deputy Mayor Gloria McCauley. I can honestly say it is one of the best espressos I've had in my life, and I have had numerous even today. So I really encourage everyone to go check it out. It's a great little venue over by the CVS. Go check that out. Also, Hillsborough Chess Academy opened up. I attended that grand opening with Deputy Mayor McCauley as well. That's located over by the Corner Store Plaza, across from the YMCA. Great spot for anyone who's looking to learn how to play chess. They have events for children through adults, anyone who wants to learn how to play chess, or just a place to have a good time. And last grand opening, Gloria and I went to Deli Delights, which is by the Dunkin' Donuts on New Amwell Road there. Great Indian food. We got to take a tour of the whole facility they have there. We had a great time. Food was great, so I encourage everyone to stop by and try that new venue here in town. From our Recreation Department, just a reminder that on Thursday, October 26th, from 4:30 to 6:30, you can wear your costume for our annual Halloween party. It's a great time that has a hayride. You have a tour through our haunted house, which the Recreation Department goes above and beyond for. And pumpkin decorating, and of course goodie bags. You do need to pre-register for that, so do visit our website. Also, we have our annual Halloween party for our dogs in town. That's on Saturday, October 28th at Ann Van's Middleworth Park. It's our 4th annual one. Come out with the dogs dressed. Even if you don't have a dog, come out because it's a really fun time. Sign up will start at 8:30, followed by the parade at 9 to the dog park where the prizes will be given away and some raffles. And last from recreation, the 2017-2018 In-Town Basketball League registration is available. This for the winter sports. It's for 4th to 12th grade. Registration is online as of today. From the Health Department, the Hillsborough Health Department and Walgreens of Hillsborough are conducting the third flu vaccine clinic on Tuesday, October 3rd. And a fourth one is coming up on Tuesday, October 10th. Wait, that was today, right? Yes, sorry. Participants were able to walk in for vaccinations for adults and children aged 12 and up. Those clinics and the clinic in September with Dr. Frank of Greenbrook Family Practice offer a convenient location and several items for individuals and families to get their flu shots. The clinic in September offered vaccinations to all those over 6 months of age, offering clinics in the municipal building where participants were able to walk in and take their families, or for the convenient, of course, for our residents. Also, the high-dose vaccine was available to seniors over the age of 65 at all clinics, and preservative-free for children were available at the September clinic with Dr. Frank. These collaborative clinics offer more variety of flu vaccination formulations, is paid for by the participants' health insurance, and forms relationships with medical providers, pharmacies, and the local health department here in Hillsborough. Over 200 vaccinations were given out. The health department emphasizes that residents should be vaccinated this year against the flu to prevent, of course, disease and everything else that comes along with the flu season. The health department also joined for a point of distribution drill. I think many people have participated with that over at Mountain View Park on September 27th. And last for me, Mayor, just an update from our library, the Hillsborough Library Branch, and the Friends of the Hillsborough Library annual book sale will be held on October 21st at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and October 22nd from 1:30 to 4 here at the Municipal Building. The huge selection includes recent used books for adults, children, and teens, as well as electronic media. Some of the categories of books for sale include current fiction, sci-fi, romance, history, biography, sports, science, business, cooking, crafts, gardening, textbooks, reference, holiday, literature, self-help, and much more. I don't know much more after reading that, but there will be DVDs of movies and TV series for adults and children as well. So all proceeds go to the Somerset County Library local branch. So please come out if you have the time. Thank you, Mayor.
Sure, that's all?
That's all.
Excellent, thank you. Deputy Mayor McCall.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. A few attended the other events as well. Breast cancer was here, the Ribbons from Hope and Dance for the Cure. And they're so generous and kind to come out every year and decorate the township. A lot of our employees and volunteers had volunteered to tie the ribbons around the trees out front to bring awareness into the community. It's a very big event that they do. And I want to say thank you to Joanne Liskovitz, who usually steers that Dance for the Cure. So thank you for coming to the township and bringing awareness to us. As Committee Member Shedd had mentioned, Falcon's Nest had refurbished their hall, and it looks great, and they are open for business. So there's parties, dances, events you can book, and the back room they have, if you've been there, it's a huge hall. It can fit probably about 100 to 150 people, I would think. And they have a secondary hall as well they're working on to reopen as well. So we wanted to bring awareness to that. It was fun to do the grand reopening of that Falcon's Nest, and wish them the best of luck in their grand opening. The Junior Raiders also bringing attention to awareness to, obviously Puerto Rico had been devastated in some of the storms recently, and they were standing out in front of their events and collecting water and goods, children's supplies, etc. So we made sure to get over there, and Jana Moore was kind enough to take a photo with me there. So thank you to the Junior Raiders for bringing that attention to the community and for getting some goods over to Puerto Rico. Update from the Finance Office, the tax bills were mailed on September 26th. Anyone who has not received a tax bill should contact the tax office at 908-369-8672. Just a reminder, the grace period for payment of the fourth quarter taxes is extended to Monday, November 13th, due to the Veterans Day holiday. From our IT department, Hillsborough recognizes it has a vital role in playing in identifying, responding, and protecting against any cyber threats in the township and to our residents. Under leadership from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the National Cybersecurity Alliance, having a month dedicated to learning about these new threats to our community is important to our well-being. In a few minutes, we'll bring up our IT Director, Jim, who's here this evening, for a proclamation recognizing the importance of cybersecurity awareness. The Stop, Think, Connect campaign, the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework, and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Critical Infrastructure Cyber Community voluntary program have been developed as free resources to help organizations implement the cybersecurity framework and improve their cyber practices through a practical approach and addressing evolving threats and challenges. We must all do our part in combating cyber threats in our community. By using these new resources, the people of Hillsborough will be allowed to better protect their private and personal information. And Jim will be explaining more of that in a few minutes. For Sustainable Hillsborough, at the next meeting, it will be on October 7th at 6:30 p.m. here at the Township Building in the side multipurpose room. Ambassador Girl Scout Bryn Briggs will give a talk on the pollinator garden she has created here at the Municipal Complex to expand the feeding and breeding areas of bees and butterflies. The project was done in order to complete her Gold Award, and her effect is very visible. If you go and look outside, over 50 monarch caterpillars already call this garden home, and we'll be seeing the results, I'm sure, shortly thereafter. Come and learn about that, and she'll be speaking again at here at the Township Building, October 17th, 6:30, and she'll be doing a presentation on that if anybody would like to come out and see it. And that's it for me this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just a few items this evening. First up, a couple of events I attended. Photo up there was Garba and Dondia night. Myself, along with the Deputy Mayor and Committeeman Thompson, were there. It's a great event that just keeps growing every year. This year, they had sold out that event in just 4 days, that they added a second. I think they had another night this past Saturday night also to accommodate everyone looking to come. So just want to thank the organizers or their committee, for inviting us and for sharing that with our community. It was a late night because they tell us to get there 11 p.m. They start this at around 8:30, and they go to about 2 in the morning. So I think we were there till about 1. So, and also, you want to back up a couple of slides? Nah. There we go. We got a photo. Great. So I got to host Cub Scouts from Troop 1776, Webelos, for a tour of the building and giving them a little bit of a lesson on local government. Actually, I got to say, Committeeman Thompson, you came up in one of the questions that was asked. Someone said, wasn't there a mayor that came here as a scout one time? So,
Tricky question.
Yeah,
it was. I was. They researched well.
With then Mayor Biondi.
That's right. So there is somewhere on cyberspace photo Committeeman Thompson and a photo shoot just like this with Mayor Biondi at the time. So and also just I got my prop. They gave me a thank you card, and the whole gang signed it. So it was a great event.
Great.
A lot of good questions. It was one of the few events that was, or visits that there were so many of them. Because what you don't see there is every scout there brought a parent too. So there was a good 30 plus of us in the mayor's office. I had to bring them into the courtroom here to do most of the presentation. But it was a good night for them. So. And moving on, as a reminder, Veterans Day is coming up on Saturday, November 11th at 8:30 a.m. We will host our veteran ceremony right outside at the Garden of Honor, and we will have light refreshments across the hall, slightly across the hall to the left in the municipal senior room. So, if you can make it on the 11th, please come out and honor our veterans on that morning. And then, as always, you can stay connected with us with all these events and more via the Friday e-newsletter that comes right to your email account. I believe there are cards in the back if you did not receive one. We also have a Twitter account, and also we do highlight all of our meetings and our semi-reality TV show, I like to call it, Hillsborough The Good Life. It's only 10-minute episodes, so but you won't realize until you see it that some of you may actually end up on it. So because our videographer right here, Kaz, you don't want to take a shot of yourself? No? Okay. So he comes out to all of our events and videotapes some of the highlights. So So all those can be seen either directly through our website. We have links there, but we also have a YouTube channel. If you just Google Hillsborough, New Jersey, you'll find that. So again, check all that out. And one last thing, if you haven't done so already, please sign up for Swift Reach 911 for traffic and emergency notifications. So I always state it is a great resource because it has saved me numerous times during rush hour to know if we have any traffic issues or any updates on, any emergency events. Fortunately, I know a couple of times we've had a couple of gas lines that have been bumped into, not by us. So, but so please do that if you haven't done so. And that is all I have for this evening. So we will now move on to proclamations, presentations for this evening. So what I ask is once you receive your recognition to please return to your seat until we have a chance to go through all. And then also you may notice that there's a few police officers out here. No one's in trouble tonight, don't worry about it. But I will be asking my fellow colleagues if we can move up a couple of resolutions because we're going to be promoting a few officers. So it's going to be very busy but very exciting evening. So first up, I would like to invite in recognition of Red Ribbon Week on October 22nd through 30th, I'd like to ask the members of the Red Ribbon Week, or the Red Ribbon Committee, to join me in front for the proclamation. Whereas alcohol and other drug abuse in this nation has reached epidemic stages, and whereas 90% of Americans with substance abuse problems started smoking, drinking, or using other drugs before age 18. And whereas it is imperative that visible, unified prevention education efforts by community members be launched to reduce the demand for drugs. And whereas the National Family Partnership for Drug-Free Youth, the District Life Skills Committee, and the Hillsborough Millstone Municipal Alliance are sponsoring the National Red Ribbon Campaign, offering citizens the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to drug-free lifestyles. And whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign will be celebrated in every community in America during Red Ribbon Week, October 23rd through the 31st, 2017. And whereas business, government, law enforcement, schools, religious institutions, service organizations, youth, physicians, senior citizens, military, sports teams, and individuals will demonstrate their commitment to drug-free, healthy lifestyles by wearing and displaying red ribbons during this week-long campaign. And whereas the Township of Hillsborough further commits its resources to ensure the success of the Red Ribbon Campaign and its theme, "Your future is key, so stay drug-free." Now therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the members of the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby support October 23rd through the 31st, 2017 as Red Ribbon Week, and encourage the citizens of Hillsborough Township to participate in drug prevention activities, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to a drug-free community. We further encourage all citizens to pledge, "Your future is key, so stay drug-free." Signed by the mayor and the members of the Township Committee. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, as always, to the Township Committee for your continued support of Red Ribbon Week and for your continued support of the Municipal Alliance and the work that we do. As you know, we do a lot of prevention initiatives in the school district and in the community, and we really appreciate, as always, your support. I encourage anybody in the community to check out the Mayor's e-news the Hillsborough Municipal Alliance website at boroughaware.org, and the school district website under the Life Skills tab. We have a lot of resources there, a lot of really good information, and a lot of upcoming programs that we'll be hosting. So thank you again.
Next up, we have a proclamation for a Girl Scout who's earned her Gold Award. So, Hrc Raghavan, please come down, bring your family and anyone that... Whereas Hrc Raghavan, a senior at Hillsborough High School and a member of Girl Scout Troop 60719, recently earned her Gold Award. And whereas we, the Hillsborough Township Committee, recognize the many hours Hrc devoted towards earning her Girl Scout Gold Award, working with diligence in order to achieve this highly coveted recognition. And whereas Shrie's Gold Award project, Cognitive Skills, worked to help seniors living at Brookdale Assisted Living in Hillsborough. And whereas Hrc worked with the Recreation Director at Brookdale Assisted Living to run activities and group games to stimulate brain waves and improve memory function for the residents. And whereas Hrc created a project based on research that showed playing brain games can help reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease and delay cognitive dysfunction. And whereas Hrc serves as an example to the youth of Hillsborough Township through our achievements, leadership, and community service, and we are very proud that Hrc is a member of our community. Now, therefore, be proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Hrc for having earned her Girl Scout Gold Award, an honor for both her and for those who have guided her. And we wish her all the best in her future endeavors. Signed by the mayor and the members of the Township Committee. Congratulations.
Hi, I'd like to thank the mayor, the township committee, as well as the township of Hillsborough for giving me the opportunity and the environment to do my Gold Award, because a lot of Girl Scouts don't have a township where they can do their Gold Award in an encouraging environment. And so for that, I'm grateful to the people who make Hillsborough the place that it is. I'd also like to thank my parents, my troop leaders, and everyone else who helped me with this process. I worked with Operation Shoebox, and all the folks there were really receptive and willing to help me with my project. So yeah, I've thanked a lot of people, but honestly, without them, I couldn't have done it.
Okay, next proclamation recognizing October's National Cybersecurity Awareness. And where's Jim? Come on out, Jim. Whereas October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and the Township of Hillsborough recognizes that it has a vital role in identifying, protecting, and responding to cyber threats that may have significant impact to our individual and collective security and privacy. And whereas the Stop, Think, Connect campaign has been designated as a national public awareness campaign implemented through a coalition of private companies, nonprofit and government organizations, as well as academic institutions working together to increase the understanding of cyber threats and empowering the American public to be safer and more secure online. And whereas the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Critical Infrastructure Cyber Community voluntary program have been developed as free resources to help organizations, both large and small, public and private, to implement the cybersecurity framework and improve their cyber practices through a special practical approach to addressing evolving threats and challenges. And whereas maintaining the security of cyberspace is a shared responsibility in which each of us has a critical role to play, and awareness of computer security essentials will improve the security of the Township of Hillsborough's information infrastructure and economy. And whereas the President of the United States of America, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, the National Association of State Chief Information Officers, and the National Cybersecurity Alliance have declared October as National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And all citizens are encouraged to visit these sites along with the Township of Hillsborough and the Stop, Think, Connect campaign website, which is stopthinkconnect.org, to learn about cybersecurity and put that knowledge into practice in their homes, schools, workplaces, and businesses. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and the Township Committee, do hereby recognize all of the above and are supporting National Cybersecurity Awareness Month and the National Public Awareness Campaign, Stop, Think, Connect, signed by the Mayor and the members of the Township Committee. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, first I'd like to thank the Mayor and the Township Committee for recognizing National Cybersecurity Month, and secondly, for doing a great job with all the reading you did and I didn't have to do now. So, but yeah, cybersecurity affects all parts of life now. I mean, it's a whole spectrum from government, education, businesses, and even home users. So a while back we started partnering with Homeland Security and some of their initiatives, including their updated HISN network, which is a Homeland Security Information Network, also their MS-ISAC, which is a Multi-State Information and Sharing Analysis Sharing Center, which is also known as their Eastern Regional Operations Center. So these are feeds that we have access to that are mainly governments. They have some outside feeds similar to business, but we get a little more information that doesn't go out to the public, and that helps us minimize our attack surface to make it harder to have the township hacked, which, knock on wood, we've been good and diligent with that. And but also we did, like again, we reached out to federal government, state government. New Jersey State Police has the NCI, the NCIC, which is the National Cyber Communications and Security Integration Cell. And things we routinely do here, which is, again, for home users too. It's not that businesses do one thing and homeowners get a little bit of a thing, but the basics are even the easiest to start with. Make sure you patch, upgrade your systems, updates, your hardware. You may have a router that's 3 or 4 years old. If it's not supported anymore, it's a chance that it will be hacked. And again, with the Information Sharing and Analysis Center, I had the opportunity to visit that for 2 days in July up in just outside of Albany, New York, which is their Security Operations Center, like you see on TV. So they're up on things. And again, here another thing which would be at home too with your kids or your partners. We emphasize education and training routinely for the township employees. They're the front line, so to speak, of someone trying to come in socially or malicious emails. We're very vigilant. Now I routinely get calls, which is good, that before somebody clicks on something, they'll give me a call and say, hey, this doesn't look good. Do you want to take a look at it? And again, all these things can be done at home too. You just be aware of where you're going on surfing, with a web browser, something seems a little funky or it doesn't seem right, then definitely don't click on it. And as all together we work, I mean, government, business, even home users, to keep cybersecurity going, we can make a safer place. Thank you.
Okay. So next, we have certificates of appreciation for Hillsborough Rocks. Hillsborough Rocks is a community building group created in July of this year, meant to inspire creativity in all ages, energize people to explore a beautiful town, and to give a gift to the community without expecting anything in return. The idea behind the group is simple. Find a rock, paint it, and then hide for others to find and repeat the process with the same one or a rock of their own. The primary focus has been to be kind, be positive, and do good for others. So, will and they're already up here, the members of the Hillsborough Rocks. Oh, okay. So, you don't want to say their names, or does everybody say their names? You want to say hi? You want to say your name really loud for everyone here?
My name is Skylar.
That's Juliet. My name's Lauren.
Hi, my name's Tim.
Stacy Womack.
Peter Verse.
So thank you all. So Deputy Mayor's going to do her best to pass out the certificates. All right. So you guys ready?
Let me make sure.
All right. You guys want to stand in the middle of this? We're going to take a big picture. Right here. Look at me. I'm there with you. Smile. Great. Now, thank you guys. You guys want to see what's on your rocks? You're good. You want to see what's on your rock?
What's on your rock?
Here's your rocks.
Police officers. K91.
You want to go?
Is that for the chief of police? You're going to give it to the chief of police? Around the year. Okay. Yes. You're going to like police? Okay.
Hi. I just wanted to say thank you to the mayor and the township committee. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. I'm not good with this stuff. Sorry. Okay. So I just wanted to say thank you to the mayor, the township committee, our police department, everyone from the Recs department, Pam, for all your help with putting our events together. Peter Verse is from Mulch Supply. Stacy Womack is from Macaroni Kid Hillsborough. Pete has been universal with us from day one in supplying rocks to the whole town for free. So people come by and pick up some rocks and say thank you. We also had BELLE Co-op, who's been helping us since day one. Stacy and I collaborated for the first annual Macaroni Kid Act of Kindness Day. What this is we were graciously allowed to create the Hillsborough Rock Garden here in Hillsborough, which is going to be outside in front of the municipal building. This is something that was made for us and explains, a little bit about what we're doing and why we're here and what these rocks stand for. So
I just want to say thank you very much to everyone that said yes to us from the beginning and everyone that supported us. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Nope, we're going to give it back to the police department for you guys to keep. And congratulations to all the officers tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. One more picture. We're good. We're good? All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, so, moving on. As I had mentioned, I was going to ask my colleagues if they would like to consider moving considerations number 1 and number 2 up front.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Need a motion? Yep. Do we need a motion to move
No,
that?
you
No,
don't,
that's
you
all.
can just move it. Thank you.
Okay. Resolution number 1, promoting Charles F. Boyle Jr. to Hillsborough Township Police Captain. Captain Boyle, or soon-to-be Captain Boyle, is a 23-year veteran with the Hillsborough Township Police Department. During his career, Captain Boyle served in various positions within the Patrol and Services Division. Congratulations, Captain Boyle. Please come to the front, swearing in. And our police liaisons, Frank and Greg.
Do you want to do a roll call on the resolution?
Oh, wait, you know what? I gotta have a motion.
We need to
I'm
do the
jumping.
resolution before you can swear him in, sorry.
Sorry about that. Jumping the
You
gun.
can still come up now.
You need a motion?
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Comments from the dais? Okay, from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commander Shep?
Yes.
Commander Duckworth?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes.
Okay, you can invite him up now.
Now we can.
It's terrible. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, my brother will.
Okay. Nice, well, repeat after me. I
I, Charlie Boyle,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
all the duties of
office of captain
the office of captain
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities. So help me God.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Do I have to sign my oath first, or do I get to say a few words?
Whichever, you're the captain.
Oh, I'm surprised you want to talk.
I'm surprised he gave me the microphone. I'm surprised he gave me the microphone. I'd like to thank Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and all the members of the Township Committee for the faith you've shown in choosing me for this position. I'd like to thank Township Administrator Anthony Ferreira and Township Clerk Pamela Borg for your professionalism as I was going through the promotional process. Chief of Police Darren Powell, I promise to work hard for you the next couple of years. There's no doubt the police department will be going through a lot of difficult changes. I'd like to thank men and women of the department who showed up here tonight. As I always do during my oral board interviews, I took credit for all of your hard work and said it was all me. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my lovely wife Trish and the rest of my family who's up here, especially my dad, Charlie Boyle Sr. I'm his namesake, my mom, Eileen Boyle. And I'm sorry that your granddaughter couldn't be here tonight. My daughter, Erin, our daughter, Erin, is out of state away at college, and she has midterms this week, so she couldn't be here. So maybe we'll try to Photoshop some pictures of her in. Thank you. Yeah, maybe my
Congratulations.
I'm going to be a little unconventional and continue the meeting down here. Consideration number 2, resolution authorizing the promotion of Sergeant Sean Carolyn and Sergeant Michael J. McMahon to lieutenant in the Hillsborough Township Police Department, effective October 11th, 2017. Lieutenant Carolyn is a 23-year veteran with the Hillsborough Township Police Department, where he has served in the Patrol Division and Investigative Division. Congratulations to soon-to-be Lieutenant Carolyn. And soon-to-be Lieutenant Michael McMahon is a 20-year veteran with the Hillsborough Township Police Department who has served in the Patrol Division, the Services Division, in the Traffic Bureau. And congratulations, soon-to-be Lieutenant McMahon. So first, may I have a motion?
So, second, Mayor.
Okay, any comments from the dais? From the floor, seeing none, roll call,
Mayor
please.
Rechette?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor McCauley?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. So at this time, I think we will ask Sean Carolyn and his family to please come on up. He's going to get very antsy if he doesn't see it.
I, Sean Carolyn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States,
and in this state,
in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
all the duties of
the office of lieutenant
the office of lieutenant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
I would just like to thank the committee, also my family and friends for supporting me, the chief, and also all the guys. Thank you.
Sergeant McMahon, soon to be lieutenant. Oh, please don't mind, sorry.
Congratulations.
I
I, Michael McMahon,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
all the duties of
the office of lieutenant
the office of lieutenant
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
I'd just like to thank Chief Powell, the Township Committee, my wife, of course, and all the officers that showed up tonight for your faith and supporting me. And I look forward to serving in my new position.
Oh, now it's official. Send him home, Mayor.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. As I promised, just thank you, everyone, for...
No problem.
There we go. So again, just congratulations to everyone, to all the proclamation recipients. Thank you to our newest captain and lieutenants. And as I promised, we will take a recess. You're free to go, but if you got nothing else better to do, you're more than welcome to stay with us for the rest of the evening. So, good night, everyone. You can, okay, we're back. So at this time, we have no new business, so we will move on to public comment on matters that are not on the agenda. So if there's anything you'd like to make a public comment, again, regarding items not on the agenda, please come forward. Okay. Moving on to considerations. We got a late. So please state your name and address for the record.
Meryl Bisberg, 4 Hickory Hill Road. I had a question. At the August 11th meeting, during Executive Committee, there was an item on there called Fire District Extrication and Water Rescue, and it was listed as a contract negotiation. Is there any information available about that?
I think, Bill, do you want to comment on that part?
Are we able to?
I think that was just, I think that's concluded, that they're doing it's just that they're doing the fire rescue and the,
I think we approved those minutes
There's
already.
nothing we,
yes, it's just that they're doing the rescue and the fire.
So essentially, we had to ensure that the rescue, the fire departments could take on the certain parts of the rescue that we needed to have someone take over after we changed the EMS portion.
Okay, so the,
Just to correct me if I'm wrong, but that was more procedural than
No, but it was done. We actually have an agreement
Right,
that's signed,
Right.
and the fire district now is providing water rescue and extrication services.
Which they did support the process in the past, they're just the lead on it now.
so I can assume there's no new fees associated with that? No contractual?
Correct, no, it's just
Okay.
the same service as if it was a fire issue. It's being
Okay.
handled by the firehouses.
The other thing is, I still haven't seen publicized statistics, even since the first 3 months, which is quite a while ago, of the response time and the performance of Robert Wood Johnson, and especially ones that triangulate with county dispatch statistics, which there's some gap with. So I'm just making a comment about this because last time I brought this up, I was asked to call Pam, which I did, I believe at the time Pam said after 3 months there'll be statistics available on the website, and I still haven't seen anything, so.
They are on there now.
They're on the website. The quarterly report was,
Okay.
yep.
Does it have the term contracted and non-contracted calls? And can somebody, because that was in the.
Sure.
Can somebody tell me what's the difference is?
Sure. Contracted is essentially the response times for the 2 vehicles that are committed to being in town. Non-contracted essentially is if those 2 vehicles are occupied because they're responding to calls and we have to dispatch in someone from somewhere else, those are considered the non-contracted.
Oh,
But
okay.
but I
But
just
we're
want-
contracted for all of it, right?
Yeah, but that's just determined, so
But just to answer your question, so you don't think anybody's getting off the hook, so the contracted, what they're calling a contracted, the 2 ambulance, anything after that, 3, 4, 5, is, they're calling it non-contracted, but those numbers all get put together. So at the end of the day, you're correct. It's the contract for all of the calls, so they take all those calls and they blend those numbers in, and they still have to meet those numbers, which in the first quarter, or this quarterly report, they have reached over 90% on all the calls. So they take all the calls, whether it's 1 call or 6 calls, blend that response time in, and then you get your quarterly report.
And what page is that on? Because I just looked, I think yesterday, the day before, I
Is
didn't
it
see it
on
on the
OEM?
OEM page. Where is that?
On the main page, if there's a
you
section
mean
that
in
says...
the contract or on the website?
No, the performance statistics on the website.
Sure. There's a section that says emergency management, and it's actually in 2 places. It's also in notifications, news and notifications. There's a drop-down. You can find it there, and you can also find it under emergency services. We actually added a new place, so it would be in both
I
places.
saw you added pages, but, okay. All right.
It's even got a little red sign next to it that says new.
Pardon?
It's got a little red sign next to it that says new to make it
Okay.
a little easier.
Okay, the other thing is, there was, I think this was unintentional, but there was a fire commissioners meeting on
Can you speak
September
into the
12th.
mic, Ms. Bisberg, because we can't get you on the tape? Thank you.
Okay, there was a fire
Thank you.
commissioners meeting on September 12th, and there were minutes that were posted on the fire commissioner site, and it addressed some of what you were talking about volunteer EMS. However, it was very clear on the site, well, first of all, there were a couple really questionable things in this, and I just wanted to mention a couple of them. One was that this volunteer proposal, which the OEM coordinator was at the meeting, said that this would start out by providing rehab to fire calls. And I guess I have a whole question as to why we're thinking about a volunteer service if supposedly we have Robert Wood Johnson and it's 0 cost to the taxpayers and to Hillsborough. But why would we be looking at providing rehab to fire calls using volunteers, which do have to be supported with equipment, which is not how it is with Robert Wood Johnson. And that was one of the major complaints about supporting a volunteer force originally. Isn't Robert Wood Johnson supposed to be doing rehab now?
Do you want, is there a question there, or you want to, so, yes, the answer is yes. So there's two parts of that. So when we talked about the volunteer piece, one of the issues that was a concern at the time that we were considering changing from Hems Corps to Robert Wood Johnson was that there was a volunteer portion that would be essentially disbanded, and that there were people that wanted to participate in the process. They wanted to give back and volunteer. They wanted to learn how to be EMTs down there. They wanted to have training provided so that they could eventually look into possibly a career as an EMT. So one of the things that we talked about from the very beginning during the RFP process and through the contractual process was the opportunity to have a volunteer organization that would supplement, and in the RFP actually it talks about helping to supplement what Robert Wood Johnson would do with a volunteer to do some of those things I just mentioned, training and learning opportunities, and give people an opportunity to volunteer through the process. As it relates to the rehab piece of it, some of that you'll have to, the fire commissioners are a separate body, but what I think is being discussed is that they would provide, if we did have a volunteer organization, which, as I mentioned at our last meeting, we do have a number of people that have been involved in the process that have indicated they want to be part of that process. From a rehab perspective, they would provide essentially supplemental service to what Robert Wood Johnson. Robert Wood Johnson is contractually obligated to provide rehab to the fire departments for when there's a fire call, when there's a fire.
Are they providing rehab now?
They are.
Okay.
And the rescue, the volunteer organization would supplement that process, again, as a learning tool, as additional resources, as a volunteer effort on a community-based basis.
Committeeman Delcourt, if you didn't mind, if to elaborate further on what Committeeman Delcourt said, since myself and the OEM director are part of putting this together. Two things that are important. One, if not all of the counties in Somerset that use Robert Wood Johnson, there's a portion of a volunteer. Most of the towns use Robert Wood Johnson from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and the volunteers subsidize, or not subsidize, they want to volunteer their time. So Robert Wood Johnson understands that there might be a volunteer component, and they're very willing to work with that, and as Committeeman Delcourt said, it's in the contract. The second thing which is important as far as the fire rehab, when we met with this volunteer group, they said the easiest thing to ease in would be to offer the fire rehab. That's the first thing they want to do as they begin to start offering volunteer services. So they actually have offered to do that, to start out small, because they want to start out small to be successful.
So they're not providing, as they first initiate doing the BLS calls or providing support to the BLS, they'd be doing rehab initiatives. So,
okay, but in
Robert Wood,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But Robert Wood is contractually obligated to do that, and they are doing that today. And they have been since they initiated the process.
Okay, in this document, right after it talks about fire rehab, it talks about in future ease
And
into
what
EMS calls.
document are you referring to, sorry?
These are the minutes from the Board of Fire Commissioners meeting.
You know it's a separate board, though.
Right, but they're talking in here about
Okay,
taking on EMS. There's a division within fire.
Okay.
I mean, we pay taxes too.
But
Fire, we pay taxes to
But that's a
township.
separate board, is what I'm saying, though. That's like coming here and
I know,
and
but
talking
John
about the
Sheridan
Board of
was right,
Evidence.
John Sheridan was at this meeting,
Okay.
okay? I think he works for you guys. And as a matter of fact, and Anthony's mentioned in here, and what's very disturbing is that after they talk about fire rehab, which I did think was being
You
handled.
find fire rehab is disturbing?
It says in future, ease into EMS calls. Ultimate goal is 24/7 coverage. Paid EMS for Hillsborough Township. So we're right back where we
Who said
started.
that?
This is in the minutes. This
But
was
who-
through the discussion of
Okay.
John Sheridan, people
So
that came with him to the meeting.
I can't speak what happened at the meeting. I can tell you certainly that the intent is not for us to take what we now have moved to Robert Wood Johnson at zero cost to the township and re-implement a process where we have it as a township function that we're paying EMTs for.
Well, then-
I have no idea what the fire commissioners indicated at the meeting. I don't know if they misstated that. I can tell you that is not the intent of what we're
Well, that's
trying to
exactly
accomplish.
what they're talking about in there.
Then you may have to take that up with the fire commissioners.
Okay, well, John Sheridan and Anthony are both mentioned in here. So
Right, but they didn't author the meeting minutes, so perhaps you need to.
Yeah, I
Go
can
to the author.
assure you that we are not moving to a paid rescue squad here in Hillsborough, and that is not the intent
Okay, and
whatsoever.
even if we move to a volunteer staff, that requires a lot of support. It requires ambulances, 2 of which were just voted to be sold at the last
I just
meeting.
so are you saying you don't want a volunteer organization?
I'm saying that the promises that were made in terms of not having, saving $300,000 in taxes, keeping response times, I don't see. I mean, I don't see with this kind of proposal.
Okay, well, let me
And I don't
ask
see
the question
why,
again,
and
'cause
honestly-
I just want to make sure that, because 3 months ago or 6 months ago, that was why you guys are disbanding the volunteer portion of it. You sound like you're now saying we shouldn't have a volunteer, we'll just let Robert Wood Johnson
No.
do it all. And if that's your position, that
But
you're entitled to it.
disbanding
but that's
one
not-
volunteer
That's not what I
force-
think is the right thing to do for the township.
What I don't think is right is disbanding the volunteer force and all the upset that went with this, going to Robert Wood Johnson,
Well-
and then going back to a volunteer force, which is going to require support.
Right, but let me
And
first-
a paid force, which is what this is talking
So
about.
First I need to correct.
And this even talks
I know,
about
but you're,
people becoming
you might
township
be,
employees.
I think you're a little confused here. Nothing was ever disbanded. So let's get, nothing's been disbanded. Never was. There was, and I made these comments too, there really was never, the volunteers went away a long time ago. It was a private entity that was essentially a nonprofit that paid its members. Okay, so there was nothing ever disbanded. What happened was an RFP went out, and again, if you recall, Robert Wood Johnson was the only responder to that. So let's be careful with wordings here and not misrepresent what happened. Nothing was ever disbanded.
But I just want to be clear, and if we weren't clear 5 minutes ago, I'll be clear again. There is zero intention, plan or otherwise, to move from a zero-cost initiative to a paid EMS. I don't know, my guess is that was somehow misstated by the fire commissioners, but that's a separate board, you may have to ask them. But that is not the plan, that is not the intent, but having a volunteer organization supplement what we can do for all the reasons I noted earlier is absolutely something that we would like to see happen. Or at least I would. I won't speak for everyone.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other public comment on items not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we are moving on to considerations. We've already done considerations 1 and 2, so we'll now move to consideration number 3. Resolution authorizing the purchase of aluminum aluminum bleachers for use in recreation programs from BSNN Sports in amount not to exceed $10,200. These are ADA compliant bleachers and are for the basketball courts at AVM Park. A portion of the funds for this came from the Michael Mclafferty Memorial Fund. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second? Oops, sorry.
Any comments from the dais? Just want to make a note that Michael Mclafferty was a longtime volunteer recreation basketball coach, and his family had set this fund up, in his memory. And, the public residents can actually contribute to this fund, and for any further information, you can contact our front office if you'd like to contribute to the memorial fund. Any other comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commander Burchett?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes.
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes. Consideration number 4, resolution authorizing a contract with Predator Tree Service for the removal of 8 large trees in an amount not to exceed $7,000. These large trees are in decline and could impact the traveling public. Some of the identified trees were on East Mountain, Mountain View, and Beekman roads. And I think it's just a good preventative measure, just in case, like we've had in some years past, some of these weather events that have taken down these trees. So this is a very proactive initiative. So may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any additional comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeemember Shep?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes. Consideration number 5, resolution awarding contract to Ocean Computer Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $6,342.22. And this is a purchase for much-needed upgrades in both our, for hardware and software, and it comes very timely, considering this is October Cybersecurity Month. So may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any additional comments from the dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Committeemember Shep?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes. Consideration number 6, resolution authorizing a contract with Helicon for the resurfacing of the AVM skate park in an amount not to exceed $8,450. This is the second portion of the skate park, and it is being funded through our 2017 capital planning budget. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeemember Shep?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes. Consideration number 7, resolution authorizing special item of revenue and appropriation. We have received a grant from the Somerset County for Youth Services, and in order to insert that into our budget, a resolution is required. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any comments from the dais?
Always appreciate grants.
Yes, yes, and they will be going towards youth-related activities.
Yes, through the youth services, not.
Youth services, not.
Not the Alliance. The Alliance is through JACATA, Governor's Council on Alcohol and Drug.
Right. Okay. From the floor? Okay. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeemember Shep?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes, consideration number 8. I know someone in the audience is waiting for this one. There you go, camera's already going, on cue. Resolution authorizing the hiring of Lee Santaramita to fill a vacancy in the Hillsborough Township Administrator Clerk Mayor's Office for the full-time position of Administrative Assistant, effective October 11th, 2017, at a salary of $38,000 per year. Ms. Santaramita has been interviewed by the Administrator, the Clerk, and the Deputy Mayor, and have been found to have the requisite background to fill this vacancy in our administration department. So, welcome, and say hi to the cameras. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any comments from the dais?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I just
Okay.
wanted to welcome Ms. Santamarita, and just with customer service in the background, she's actually going to be an asset to the administration office, which the folks up here know is extremely important, not only to the governing body here, but the residents and the department heads. So extremely important role, and I feel 100% confident that she'll be able to handle that for us.
Excellent, thank you. Any additional comments?
Just want to say welcome.
Welcome.
Comments from the floor?
When you start.
Seeing none, roll
Soon
call,
enough.
please.
Committeemember Shep?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
And Mayor Srirachi?
Yes, and it's official. Welcome aboard now.
Welcome.
Consideration number 9, resolution acknowledging and approving the best practice inventory questionnaire for the year 2017 for the Township of Hillsborough, Somerset County, and authorizes the submission of the certified questionnaire by our Chief Financial Officer. So for the 8th consecutive year, the township will receive 100% of its state aid based on the responses to the questionnaire. So I just want to say well done job by all for meeting those tough criteria. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais?
Mayor, just wanted to note, as you started to say, I mean, the importance here is that the questionnaire does allow us to ensure we get all of requisite aid that would be coming to us and don't in any way jeopardize any of that. So it's an important process appreciate all the work that was done by all the staff members to make sure that best practices are not only in place, but being implemented, and certainly our administration staff as well. A very important process.
Thank you. Additional comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delacorte?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes, and now we're moving on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve this evening's consent agenda?
So moved?
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delacorte?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Moving on to claims list. May I have a motion to approve claims list 2017-19?
So moved?
Second.
Comments from the dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delacorte?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor McCauley?
Yes?
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes, and this concludes our regular meeting. Just a reminder, our next meeting will be October 24th in 2 weeks. And we do not have an executive session, so I will request a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 We are adjourned. Good night, everyone. See you in 2 weeks.